248-539-9797. Something else that is kind of breaking behind the scenes that I haven't had a chance to really delve into, and we're going to try and get some of the details on this. Crane's Business Detroit did a story about Amazon trying to buy more broadcast rights, and they tweeted out, updated, Amazon is in talks to invest in Detroit Tigers, Red Wings, and Pistons broadcasts. So it feels like Bally's has had its ups and downs. And there was a frustration over the weekend. I saw it in social media when a Red Wing game wasn't being streamed like it was supposed to. And I saw it buzzing around on social media, and somebody had a chump up for Bally's yesterday. But that would be interesting because would that mean there would be no more cable or over-the-air broadcasts of Tigers, Pistons, or Red Wings? I think that would bother people a lot, but the shift has gone basically fully to cable. And there was a time where games were on Channel 4 all the time, Channel 50, Channel 20. Growing up, that there was over-the-air presence. WDIV carried a ton of Tiger baseball. And then, as people I'm sure were outraged when it all went to cable and then adjusted. And now there's a chance that it's going to end up streamed. And look, the streaming thing comes with its level of frustration as well. I'd prefer not to have any streaming. And there's a bunch of reasons why that we've talked about on the air. But Amazon may get involved with our local broadcast. And if they do, all I say is please don't have any technical difficulties. Yeah, there you go.
Well, Gator is subscribed to Amazon.
Yeah.
And by the way, technology, there will be at some point some technical difficulties.
Yes.
That's just the way it is.
I mean, the one thing that I would really prefer is the ability to flip around much with far less moves. We're talking about first world problems when you go from, I just hit last on my cable or previous channel on my cable. Now I have to hit 6 buttons to back out of the app and go into another app. This isn't a huge deal, but just the mere convenience of that doesn't come with streaming. When you have, when you've got a game on Amazon or ESPN Plus or whatever you're watching games on, that gets frustrating. I hope they can sort that out, and I imagine they will.
I think there's a way you can do it with like certain products already, but they will get that figured out overall for everybody. Because that's just the way it is. We'll progress and things will be easier because they know they want everything to be streaming, then they have to make it easier for everyone to stream, right?
Yep. 248-539-9797. Carson Anderson, 97-1 the ticket. I want to give credit to Tom Milliken, producer for the morning show, who's going to be off a couple days. And I said, have you talked about this on the air? And he said, no. And I said, well, I'm going to give you credit. He said something I think is really astute. He thinks the Lions opened up competition last week for positions and just said, it's on. It's on. And it led to a couple things. More snaps for Khalil Dorsey. More snaps for Kindle Vildor. And maybe the most telling thing is they changed the kicker. Like they went with Michael Badgley for the first time this year over Riley Patterson. And he didn't have to attempt the field goal. Love the 6 for 6 on extra points. But isn't that a position that it's, I don't know if it's easy, but you have guys in practice that are making kicks. Who is making the most kicks? Now there's things like trajectory and how expedient you are at kicking the ball. A guy takes a slightly longer run up, makes it more exposure for a block or whatever the case may be, right? But that's one that seems like if you open up the competition, it's pretty easy to determine who's the better kicker. So anyway, suffice to say, I think Tom's right. I think they opened up some competition last week at a bunch of positions. and we saw some different people on the field making plays. 248-539-9797. All right, let's get back to your open line calls. We're going to Justin in Madison Heights here on 97 on the ticket. What's up, Justin?
Hey, Doug. How you doing today, man?
Okay.
Excellent. Yeah, I was the one that chumped Bally's yesterday, and I hadn't heard this. So Amazon is looking to take over for Bally's and have, like, mainly the exclusive rights. Is that what you heard?
No, it's not what I heard. I'll read you exactly what I saw because I don't have a subscription to Cranes. The tweet was updated. Amazon is in talks to invest in Detroit Tigers, Red Wings, and Pistons broadcasts.
I think, personally, that would be awesome. I went through years of just boycotting Amazon. I got over it, right? Like, I'm only hurting myself if I'm not using the service because their service is amazing, right? Their video, ordering online and whatnot. Have you watched the Thursday night Amazon games?
Yes, I have.
There's two. Have you watched the second broadcast?
Yes, I have. The video game broadcast?
Yes. My buddy's wife calls it subtitles for sports. It's actually amazing. The wide-out camera, they highlight the routes. It's awesome. Could you imagine that with hockey or baseball?
I don't know how it would work. And typically, the extremes are, and I do think there are extremes. The extremes are the glow puck, which everybody hated, and the puck. But this I actually like a lot. What do they call it? The next gen cast or whatever it is.
It's something like that.
You watch it, right? You've watched it, right?
Yeah, I've watched it. To me, I prefer the regular broadcast, but it's a nice change of pace, and there is some really cool stuff that they feature on there that you don't get on the regular broadcast.
And that's what I'm saying. With Amazon at the helm, they could do some really neat things. And sure, we might hate it, we might love it, but I don't know. Bally's clearly doesn't have the infrastructure because this isn't uncommon that you can't stream these games. Amazon's got more money than God. They'll put the money in and make the broadcast amazing.
Thank you for the phone call, Justin. 248-539-9797.
So, in the report, I did forward you the rest of the article, Doug, if you want to read up on it. It basically says, Amazon says they're looking to acquire a multi-year streaming rights deal for Major League Baseball, the NBA, and NHL games. We already know Amazon's been trying to get live, with live sports, more of that, right? Because they have the football. They're trying to possibly, and they can't speak on this because it's not a done deal, they're trying to possibly obtain Diamond Sports, which is branded Bally Sports. So whatever Diamond Sports has sports-wise, they would be taking over, essentially. But there's a bankruptcy issue. They're waiting a court approval, things like that, so they can't speak too much of it. But that's where this all comes from, them acquiring, Bally Sports, their live sports.
Interesting. A lot of changes for the fans. Ticket prices, this. I will say, when you take over something like that, if you can vow to do it better, I think people will like it.